Grassroots Books in Reno, Nevada.
I am more than excited because it is our only Nevada stop. And I was looking and looking for a Nevada stop, and when my publicist came up with one, I was just so thrilled. And this type of model for bookstores, we're going all across the country. We're on the road for 40,000 miles, which is a little crazy. I've got my husband, got our 2 kids, and we are car schooling the kids. When you trade in your whole life and you live it out of a car, you better hope there's a good reason for it, and the bookstores are the reason. And so we've gotten to see just how all these different bookstores do things, and Grassroots has the most original model I've seen yet.
And so all the bookstores you've been going at, tell me what the reception's been, because your debut novel's out right now.
Right.
It's Cover of Snow. It's doing wonderfully on the charts, and it's getting a lot of rave reviews. The store's a big fan. So tell me what the reception's been like across the United States.
I mean, the reception has been fantastic. Every now and then, you know, you go to an event and somebody says, is your car waiting outside? And of course my car is, but it's driven by me. But, you know, as a debut novelist, it's not like you're going and there's 400 people lined up out the door, which I think is great. And I've been saying all across the country that even if I should be so lucky, everybody can see how superstitious I am, that I get to the 400 person point. I hope I can always do events like I was just doing right here at Grassroots with the local author who came in, and I got to hear something about his writing and he got to hear something about mine, and we exchanged, you know, reminiscences and perceptions. It's a wonderful thing to meet somebody in Nevada, to meet somebody in California, to meet somebody. We're going to Salt Lake tonight. You know, I think it's been a fantastic reception. But I also think, you know, no, there's no jet waiting to take me to my next stop or anything. But that's all right.
Now, you're no stranger to bookstores. Tell me about bringing your child to a bookstore day.
Okay, so 3.5 years ago, my kids were littler than they are now, and we were going to a bookstore almost every week for story hour. It was a great way, you know, to be with your kids and to have them entertained, and you could get some entertainment yourself. I don't know if the camera's picking up all the great books around here, but never left without a new thing to read. Even though as a new mom, I was not necessarily reading all those books. But it occurred to me that not every kid gets to go to a bookstore. And we touched on this even when we were talking about book fairs, you know, and that not every child can buy a book. And that sense of, you know, I don't want to use a word that has negative connotations, but that sense of possession in the good way, I own this and it's become part of me, was very meaningful to me as a child. The books I had, I still have them. And every time I take one out and I see the cover, it shoots me right back. It's as powerful as a smell in terms of memories. And that's what Take Your Child to a Bookstore Day was about. I wanted to make sure that, you know, just a little something I could do would bring more children into bookstores. And so it's celebrated the first Saturday in every December. This will be our 4th year on December 7th, and I hope that, you know, thousands of children across the country will be flooding the bookstores.
Well, Grassroots,
millions of children.
Grassroots is happy to celebrate it. We have it marked off on the calendar. It's going to be a free book day, so everyone who walks into the store gets a free unstickered book.
Oh,
That's something we do regularly here at
that's
Grassroots.
fantastic. That is wonderful.
Okay, so we're following your blog right now because you do a lot of really cool stuff there. Do you want to shout out the blog and talk about some of the authors that you're interviewing?
I will, yeah, since you mentioned that, because the blog is exactly that. For the longest time, you know, my husband, who is my tech guy, kept saying, you should blog, you should blog, you should blog. And I was like, I can't talk about myself week after week after week. But I started featuring authors on the blog in the Made It Moments forum. If you're watching and you're an author and you have a Made It moment and you want to share it, contact me. Jeff will know how to get in touch with me. And we've had over 275 authors, and they've shared, you know, their moment that let them feel like they were a success. And the neat thing is that no two are alike. So, you know, there was the author whose publishing house let her give, her book was the 10,000 one sold, I think, for the imprint. I think I'm getting this right. And they let her give a $1,000 check to the person who had bought her book because it was a, you know. And she was like, that was my Made It moment, to hand it to this grandma and have her say, oh my God, I can take my kids to Disney now, my grandkids to Disney. That was her Made It moment. So all the Made It moments differ, but the message is always the same, and it's always, don't look to be on the bestseller list. Don't look for that jet to be waiting outside the bookstore. You know, note the things along the way that let us know we're sharing our words, because that's how you know you've made it. So that's my blog.
Well, we love to read it, and it's jennymilchman.com. Wonderful. Jenny Milchman, we're so happy to have you at Grassroots. She's going to be here until noon, signing, mingling, just getting a feel of the store and talking to anyone who comes in about her road to publication. 13 years in the making.
Yes. Come on down. I'll break your heart. No, I'm kidding.
It's a success story at the end of the day.
Right.
All right. Thank you so much, Jenny. We're glad to have you at Grassroots.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.